theories of personality learners. I hope you're doing well. This week it's module 4, and I just wanted to show you. So you have your journal and you have your milestone. So here's our journal, and you do want to download the template that will tell you stuff about what you're doing for this assignment, but you also, oh my gosh, I downloaded it already. But you also want to be following the guidelines, and so there again is the template. So it's telling you that you want to, sorry, it's early in the morning. Okay, you want to make sure that you're describing how humanism differs from personality theories studied so far. So I just want to point out that we're in our book, and we're reading humanism. Your book is great about having like this search feature, so you can just be searching for these ideas, but on this template we are talking about how humanism differs from the personality theories we've studied so far. So make sure that you're going back to psychoanalysis and you're going back to the trait theories. Wow, no wonder I kept downloading the template. I lost it again. All right. It's because it's falling out of the screen that's being recorded. Okay. And then make sure that you're talking about nature and nurture, and just keep in mind that psychologists use these terms differently than regular folk. Like, we're talking about nurture in the sense of the environment. Keep in mind that abuse is also nurture in psychologists' words. Nurture just means the environment, where nature means genetics. And then talk about emotional intelligence and how that relates to the humanistic approach. Make sure that you are using information from your book to support what you are saying. Cite our book by putting SHIRAEV, comma, and the year of publication in parentheses after the phrase that includes the information from the book. But you really have to be supporting what you're saying using information from our book. You're talking about systematic issues in society in the hierarchy of needs, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Include the book for support when you're talking about this information. And then when you're in the last course, you'll be talking about being an agent of social change. So here, you want to talk about the humanistic approach and how it generally, or how Maslow's hierarchy specifically relates to your thoughts about being an agent of social change, meaning how are you going to make the world better? And then you have to find one external article. So that's really why I'm making this video. I wanted to show you how to do this. This is what I want you to do. Go into the Shapiro Library. Go to the Shapiro Library homepage. I do not want you to use the internet for this, because while you are at Southern New Hampshire, you have access to this fantastic database that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. And that's what we want to be doing. We want to be using this fantastic database. So go to A to Z database list. I don't know if I just went too far. Sorry, hold on. So go up to Shapiro Library. Click on the Shapiro Library homepage. Click on A to Z database list. Choose P, and go down to Psych Info articles. Wow, now it's just called, it's not even Psych Info anymore? That is wild. Okay. Oh, what? I just can't read. All right, Psych Info. That's what we want to be choosing. We want to do advanced search. You guys are looking at Maslow's hierarchy, so there we go, Maslow. Make sure that you check off abstract. Make sure that you check off full text. This will ensure that our library has that for you right here. You don't want to be spending time with interlibrary loans, which could take a couple of days. Check off peer-reviewed. Peer-reviewed is a particular kind of research where It's reviewed by experts in the field prior to being published. That's another reason why we do not consider YouTube videos to be credible sources of information, and we do not consider websites to be credible sources of information, because these articles are peer reviewed. Okay, and then publication dates, make sure it's the past 5 years. And we're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but we also are looking at how it pertains to the limitations of Maslow's hierarchy and systematic issues in society. So you could go either way. You could talk about limitations and make sure that you're choosing the longest thing. Make sure that you choose abstract, which I'll show you in a minute. That's the summary of the article. You could also say, wow, it's not coming up as systemic issues. So you could maybe do like that: society, community, environment, culture. Or you could talk about the limitations. All right, we're searching. And here's the title. So if a title sounds good, great. This is interesting. And so if the title sounds good, you would click on it, and then you could read the abstract. That's the summary. So here's the abstract. If that sounds good too, great. Access options, because we checked off peer, like full text, it should be right here. And I also just want to show you that every single article looks the same. Like you can see that they all have an abstract. You can ignore this introduction. This is just the readers, the researchers are telling they're saying, I read all the prior research. We are just focused on this article's research in particular. So you can ignore that part, and then you're going down to, hey. All right, so this is not a good example because it's not an actual research article. So let's go back to our results. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so again, we're going to go to, this one has linked full text. And great. Okay, so again, it has that abstract. Great. And you can probably find all the information that you need just from this abstract, if I'm being honest. That is probably it. I'm just showing you how to read an article. The fact that they all have an introduction. Scroll down. You're looking for this. So here's the methods. Here is who was in their study. Here's what they studied. Like, what did the people have to do? And you can skip the results for right now. This is just the math of what they did. So you can totally skip that. It's just if somebody wanted to repeat this study for their own research, this would tell them how to do it. You don't need to know that. You can skip down to the discussion. This might be helpful too, because this is just telling you what happened in the current study. So this is really the most important part. All right, and then I just want to show you that if we went back to our, hey, where did it go? Sorry about that. If we went back to our results list, click on this, and then click on cite, and then grab this, and that's how you reference it. So the citation for this would be AKOTO et al., 2023, but then we would put this in the references list. And sometimes, sometimes the APA style is wrong. I'm just saying, even if it says it's correct, these are all looking good, but sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes these letters are capitalized and they shouldn't be. So just make sure, even if you copy this, just make sure that the title doesn't have all capital letters for each word, because that would not be correct. All right, so all of that just to say this, an article that investigates the limitations of Maslow's hierarchy. Okay, So include information from your article, cite the article. I'll be looking it up to make sure that it comes from PsycInfo and that it's peer reviewed within the past 5 years. And then this is just saying what self-actualization means for you. Ideally, you would include information from the book, like you would just say, like thinking about the top. So say what the book said about the top of Maslow's hierarchy. That would be the way, and then cite the book for that. That's what I would be doing. And then the other thing that we are doing in here, actually, I'm going to go into, module 4 again. The other thing that we're doing for this assignment is this milestone. This is a lot of milestones, huh? So now you're talking about 2 personality theories from the left column, and then from the right column, 3 topics. So you want to be using these theories. Remember that you can use that beautiful search feature in your book just to figure out where those theories were in the book. And just lost it again. And then say how they relate to 3 of these topics. So just say which 2 theories you're going to use, and then talk about how they differ on 3 topics. So you might maybe pick like humanistic psychology, and you'll be looking at what does it say about when things go wrong. Or you might be talking about trait theory and what is it saying about when things go wrong. And then you might be like, okay, now I'm going to do humanistic psychology, and I'm going to talk about what it says about free will. I'm going to talk about trait approach and what it says about free will. Now I'm going to do it again, humanistic psychology, and I'm going to talk about if it is more concerned with nature or nurture as being the origin of your behavior. And then is the trait approach more concerned with nature or nurture, and is it the origin of your behavior? So set that up like I would do these in bullets so that it's pretty clear that you're talking about topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. And using this template will be helpful when I'm grading so that I don't have to search around for where did you include this information. And then say how they're similar. So you're saying how they're different. This is like compare and contrast, and then say how they're similar. And this references, do you need a text? Heck yes. I wouldn't even say if needed. Like, yes, definitely support what you're saying using information from the book. Heck yes. And then, to cite your book, I just want to show you that there should be a place to cite it. Hold on. They're always slightly different. Oh, here it is. The 3 dots, citation, and then APA. And actually, see, this one's incorrect. This one can be capitalized. This one can be capitalized because it's after the ... but this should be lowercase. So they're not always right. Just saying, check for accuracy before use. But you only need to be using the book for that second milestone, for the second assignment that you're doing this week. And then it is saying you have to say which 2 theories. That's pretty straightforward. How they differ on topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, 1 similarity, and make sure this part, make sure that you're like citing appropriately. Wow, that was so much information. Reach out if you have any questions, and have a good week.